What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Thank y'all for joining me on another live stream. So I see some people came in early today. I want to give a shout out to you guys. We have DJ Underground. What's going on, brother? Michael Williams. Thanks for joining early. We also have Dante Ellis in the building. Who else we have here? Boondock Tech. Texas Marine. How you brothers doing? Simply Rocco. What's going on? All right. So guys, now today I want to go over this one. Now, this is actually an article, and this article is by the Filipino couple PH, right? That's the website, the FilipinoCouplePH.com. I want to get into this, and the reason why is a lot of guys don't want to come to the Philippines to have this happen.
Seen you in so long, we thought you'd run off and found yourself a man.
Do I look like I've got a husband and an overweight stepson? Now give me a drink. It's ladies' night.
She's back.
I mean, guys don't want that, right? A girl going out to ladies' night, that independent attitude. So it's here, it's everywhere, right? It's everywhere. So I want to get into the difference today. And thank you guys for joining early. Also, we have Tony Anderson in the building. What's going on? Petty Officer Parker. What's going on? And Tom L. Sede. And so, so you want to know about the premium shorts? I'll definitely go over that later. Or you can email me to blackfilipino@gmail.com if you want any information. But let's get into this, guys. All right, so now, let me share my screen so you guys can see this. All right. Okay, so this article here, how to be a strong, independent woman in a relationship. Now, the first thing you would think is, oh, heck no. Why would I want to have an independent woman in a relationship? But it's a little different. Let's see what they got to say. So it says, before we start, let's get one thing straight. There's nothing wrong with relying on people you trust. Now, that's a great start, right? Nothing wrong with relying on people you trust. That's what a guy wants. A guy wants a woman to rely on him, right? Guys aren't leaving because they want independent women. They want someone to rely on them. And that's the difference between interdependent. That's why guys are leaving. So I want to see, though, and I haven't read the article, so it's my first time reading it. I want to see if there's any kinks in the article because this is being suggested for Filipino couples, right? So I want to see what it's saying. So it says, especially your partner who most likely would be the best person to have your back. The world just works that way. It's important for us to work together to make big things happen. And it's true. Guys want a woman that's going to be a part of their team, right? Now, of course, I'm sure this article is going to be promoting women working and being independent. And a lot of guys aren't looking for that, right? A lot of guys that are coming over here have the money for their woman, their Filipina, or if they're going to another country, right, for that matter, to not have to work. But what I love about here is that when a woman's working, she won't say, oh, well, I got more money, I'm going to have to leave you. And it's funny, I should have brought up some of those interviews I did where I was interviewing Filipinas, and Cebu. I've interviewed Filipinas in the past, and they will always say, doesn't matter what my husband makes. My husband's pretty much poor here. And you love it. When I see that, it's like, wow, more guys need to see that. And I will be going around getting more interviews. But then you have those cases where I've interviewed Filipina and met Filipina in locations in other places, and they said, well, no, I don't want to take care of a man. They look at it the wrong way. And I've even talked to a Filipino who said, if a foreigner came and took care of you, would you continue working? She said, yes. She was young. She didn't understand you have to trust the process and work with a guy. And I guess figuring, not every guy's there to stay. So that's another thing for another time. So let me get right into this. So it says, the same thing happens in love. Most often than not, a couple's individual strengths and weaknesses complement each other. You can be good with talking to people and so be in charge of haggling prices in Tally Papa, that's a fish market, while your partner takes care of planning the weekly meals. After the trip, you successfully go home with some savings and a well-stocked pantry. Sounds great, right? Yes, it's really the teamwork that makes the relationship very beneficial to us, to those in it. And that's the thing. Most guys, like women like this, oh, you just want a woman to take care of you and wait on you on hands and feet. Some guys do want that. And you know what? If you worked it out with your woman, you can find a woman like that for you here in the Philippines. But at the same time, I broke it down yesterday. I did a live stream, you guys know, and I said in a live stream, my wife was editing 2 videos. I cooked and cleaned that day. Why? Because I'm not saying, oh, you slave, you get up and cook my meal now. It's not like that. I'm a man that knows how to cook. I'm a cooking since I was 10 years old, and I didn't mind that. I don't mind cooking. Sometimes I like to cook meals just 'cause I like to cook it. But you know, as women like to say, oh, you just taking advantage of those women, and you're going out there to poor country, you took advantage, woman, to wait on you like a slave. You guys already know. You guys already know. So, so why then do we need strong, independent women? That's the question. That's exactly how we feel, right? It says being independent as a Filipina means so much more than the motivational posters we may have on our phones. The ones that say you can, you're capable, and all you have to do is believe in yourself. If you don't have them now, I bet you had at least one at some point in your life. Don't worry, we've all been there. But beyond those feel good words, independence gives us Filipinos the chance to take full control of our lives. It gives us the freedom to choose what's best for us, to be more than the role society has given us, and to participate more in life in our own terms. So now this is here is turning into feminist propaganda, which guys, feminist propaganda is here in the Philippines. I remember being in the province, right? And seeing feminist sayings like, you don't need a man and stuff like that. And yeah, but boggled my mind. But then I understood you have to think this is a country where women speak English very well. Of course, you know I made it here. Is it the same? No, it's not. No, it's not. Right? But still, this is, and let me give you an example and how I've seen it hurt some Filipina. Right? You have Filipina that will, just like I met the girl out in the store who said, I wouldn't date a foreigner because I need to make my own money. Yes, they're going to be here. Stay away. I've said it already before, but stay away. And as a guy that wants to come here in person and meet them here in person, because not everybody wants to date online, right? You're going to bump into this. You're going to bump into good, bad, and you have to work your way through. So now let's go on to the next part. It says, build your own money. Let me see what they're pushing out the woman. It says, if you were a Paganai eldest child, you probably felt like you've had more voice in your family when you started earning your own money. Coincidence? I think not. A study conducted by the Institute of Technology and Business, Asia Malang, back in 2020 showed that a woman's position and decision making inside the family is determined by the economic contribution in the family. Even though the study was in Indonesia, it is very apparent in the Filipino household as well, especially for our dear breadwinners. Considering a relationship is or will be at home someday, be at home someday, it is best to be financially independent early on so you can have equal weight in the decisions and your partner will be making. You and your partner will be making. And if worse comes to worse, that you need to go your separate ways. Knock on wood, you can get back up and start anew. Now, this here is promoting how Filipinos are with Filipinos, right? Now, what happens in the Philippines, guys, I gotta let you guys know this. For you guys that don't know, a lot of you guys do know. But for you guys that don't know, you'll have Filipinos that are laying up, right? They get a lady pregnant, and then they end up being a stay-at-home dad. And the Filipina pays all the bills and still comes home and cooks. It's wild. And you guys know what I mean. And then one day, and I'm not trying to bash Filipinos by saying it's real. And then one day find out that guy was sleeping with her best friend. It's wild. So that's why you hear Filipinas say the main point is to find a guy that's loyal, right? Because women like to say about American guys, with the Pookie and Ray Rays, that's here too. But for the most part, Filipinos are stand-up gentlemen, but you do have a lot of Pookie and Ray Rays, same thing in the West. They're younger. They don't have any ambition at all, right? So a Filipino will be working, they'll just stay home. And a Filipino will be okay with that And then also on top of that, she'll come home and still cook and clean. It's wild. So these guys will get cooked for get food cooked for them, right? Women will be cleaning, they won't clean a thing. They're home all day, whatever, playing games, and yeah, they'll go through this, and then the guy cheats. So sometimes that's why I don't suggest anybody to get a mother out here. But that's why in some cases you'll do better finding a single mother here than back home. And I'm sure you guys may understand what I'm talking about. And that's why I loved when Floyd said what he said, right? And I mentioned in a video recently too. Floyd said, I would date a single mother outside of the West because it's a lot different. And he's right, especially here in the Philippines, right? A lot of times that woman would be responsible. And then you as a foreigner coming, you kind of ease the load of her to where it's one of those things where women say, I want to rest in my feminine back home. It's different here because the woman's still going to be feminine, right? That's the difference. It won't be she's going to act feminine when she doesn't have to do anything anymore. She's going to be feminine, do the work, and then still be feminine. And then when she goes at her man complaining about to him, she's still feminine. Big difference. And I'm sure you guys, a lot of you guys here have dealt with Filipina and understand what I'm talking about. You get the good ones and you get the bad ones, right? But that's why Floyd said what he said, and he was right. He didn't really know because it was really his first time here. He didn't really deal with women internationally like that, but he's right. The values are different. They were raised different, right? They were raised not to just go at their men at all angles, right? All angles. I mean, the guy comes home and the guy does something wrong. The guy does something right, but it's not done the way they want it done. But you do have something like that. You do have something like that. So you got to be aware. No matter what country you're going to, guys. That's why I got so upset with the video I reacted to. If anybody's seen it on More to Life, the video I reacted to today where the woman used the AI, right? I got like livid because how dare you talk about stuff you have no idea about and then say guys are not doing the work and you say all this stuff, but you've never traveled. You've never traveled. You don't understand how it is outside in different cultures, right? And that's why I commended the other lady I reacted to today because she was a passport sis, but she was the kind of passport sis I respect. I don't have any harsh feelings toward passport sis. Only ones I spoke about that was negative. That's the only ones I have problem with. The ones that are negative, right? And the women have been doing that for years, going to Jamaica, Africa, really taking advantage of dudes and then pitting it on men right now. Yes, there's some men that are bad, but it's not the majority, right? But that's what it be done. And for many years, men are made to look like the predator and made to look like everything harsh under the sun. It's simply not true. So let me continue with the article. So it says, considering a relationship is or will be a home someday, it is best to be financially independent early on so you can have equal weight in the decisions and your partner will be making. You and your partner will be making. And if worse comes to worse, that you need to go your separate ways, knock on wood, you can get back up and start anew. Now, that's exactly what I explained, right? Things happen here. That's why you'll have Filipina will consider herself a 3 when you look at her like she's an 8, right? The reason why they feel like that, because same thing in the West, right? There's always a new 20-year-old coming up. Same thing in the Philippines. And a woman could be 23, had her first kid, and she looked at it as old news already. And you see that when sometimes you're in the Philippines. I've been out here, right, guys? And I've been out here for 8 years. So sometimes I'll be in a store, and it doesn't happen all the time. And you'll see an older guy, 50-something years old, with a Filipino look like she's 18. And the reason why they're able to do it, because they're here. They speak the language. and they get them as soon as they come off the stoop. That does happen here. So when they say, "Oh, you foreigners just trying to get the young," no, Filipinos are doing it too. Every man out there wants a woman that's younger, that you know is more desirable. That's just facts. I'm not that way because I know how it is, right? You got to get the one that's for you. I kept that mentality. I was like that in the West, and I'm like that here too. And I'm different. But most guys want it like that. They want to have a woman that's easily, how can I say, a woman that can be molded, that's not yet developmentally yet. And not I don't want to say like development. You guys know what I mean. Not developmentally, a woman that's can change, right? The reason why I'm happy with Kay is Kay is still moldable. I was able to still mold her to where, of course, she has her ways, and I respect her ways, but she's willing to change her ways for me, and that's what it's about, compromise, right? There's no irreconcilable differences. Am I saying it right? Irreconcilable differences here in my home, because matter of fact, the breakdown of it, every relationship has irreconcilable differences. You're two different people, right? So of course it's going to be that way. But this here, what it's speaking about, is the same thing. Guys being players, so the women feel they have to have some kind of backing because women go through that. That's why you see them saying, "Oh, I want a guy that's faithful. I want a guy that's faithful. I want a guy that's faithful. I don't care about the money." That's when you know you got a true Filipino. I don't care about the money. I want a guy that's faithful. You're like, okay, that's what I want to hear. That's what you want to hear. And like the interview I did yesterday, not interview, but the ones that did the video. I'll go anywhere you go. That's what you want to hear. Don't matter if it's to the west or not. That's what you want to hear. Because I know a guy recently that came out here for a year, a little longer than a year, and they had to break up because he found out that her whole mission was to go to the U.S. So you have to make sure you establish that right away. That was her whole mission, was to make it out to U.S. to get a job and become an independent modern woman. She didn't know that's what she wanted to do, but it is what she wanted to do. Because some Filipinos, because U.S. is the pie in the sky to everybody in the world, right? You go there and you get a job, and then you send the money back home in bulk. You're sending tons of money back home, and they may have someone in the family that did it before, so that's how they feel. So, and then here goes independent woman talk. It says, aside from this, having your own money can feel good too. It's always an achievement to be able to use your skills and hard work to provide for yourself. Go get it, girl. Well, you know, it's not exactly the same. It's not. And you guys know exactly what I mean, right? This is more positive mindset. This is positive mindset feminism, right? It's not, oh, you can be with any guy you want feminism. It's a difference. It's a difference. You heard men say it forever. Guys say, I'm a feminist. Every guy's a feminist. They want to see women do well, right? We don't want to see women just going through hardships. We want to see women do well. And usually it's best with a man. And being interdependent. Men want interdependence, not independence. So it says indulge in hobbies or interests that are solely yours. So been wanting to paint or dance for so long, but your partner just isn't feeling the creative flow. What about the Bay Alonzo and John Lloyd Cruz movie marathon you've been planning for so long? So all these we say, go book that class or set a date. Set that date. Now this is what Paso Bros come into play, right? Or guys that are looking to travel over here. We don't mind that, right? A guy doesn't mind a woman that has her own thing, especially if she's including me. See, a guy doesn't mind being included. Guys coming over here, and a lot of women are starting to realize that. No, these guys coming over, they want to be involved in her life. They want to support. So I don't mind that. Like if Kay right now said, "Babe, I'm gonna do this, this, and that," as long as I can go, and I won't be there all the time, but as long as I can go see what's going on, oh yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And so here's what it says. It says finding things that you love doing by yourself can be good for you and your partner. See? Now you may not be with them for the time being, but you have good stories to share when you meet again. And that right there is how you know that it is what it is, right? Guys, that's what guys want to know. That's the same thing women want to know. Okay, you went out. Okay, when you come home, I better hear a lot of stories. Oh, you know this girl, this, and that. Guys don't mind listening to that cheese miss. They call it cheese miss in the Philippines. So when she comes back with cheese miss, okay, nothing's going on. But if she's not coming back with that cheese miss, what was she doing? Because guys, it can happen, right? You could be out here. You could be out here, and it's like that any country, not just the Philippines. So if Filipino can be watching right now saying, "Oh, why are you bashing it? That don't know how to happen." It happens everywhere. Probably happens more in other countries. Let me repeat. It probably happens more in other countries besides the Philippines because women will get done wrong here because the guys have so many options here. Probably a lot more here than other places, to where the woman want loyalty, so she probably won't be stepping out. But then you have those select few that'll still have their man, and beware that, guys. They'll keep their man, and that's why you know I say you can date him here or even date him online too and get to know him, because still, and that's why I reacted to the video where the woman said keep more around because you don't know. And the same thing here, because she could have that man that's been her long-term man and using you for the bag and play the long game. But it'll expose itself. So you don't have to worry about that. So now it says talking about how you felt so peaceful in the zone when you were completing that watercolor artwork, or how dancing can be so fun and such a great exercise. And this is the thing. As a couple, of course, you need separation, right? Of course you need separation. And let me keep reading. It says you can even ask for his thoughts on your latest Star Cinema movie review. You'll never know. They might have good ideas you can explore together. These new topics keep things fresh and exciting between the two of you. So you see that, guys? This is talking about being an independent woman and happy in a relationship. It's telling women, yeah, you need some separation. The man needs some separation too, right? So this is good because you'll find this is actually teaching Filipinos also not to be clingy. You get what I'm saying, guys? Because of that same situation where the Filipino guy could be the cheater, right? You have a woman that every move you do, she's behind you. She's right up under you because of her past traumas. That can happen here, and of course, you want to avoid that. And I've had guys that contacted me tons of times in the past and said, "Jay, I had to let her go." Why you had to let her go? She was too possessive. And why are they too possessive? They hear stories from friends. They go through it. And I'm not saying all Filipinos are like that. I got Filipino guys in my family that are married, and I know them in the streets, outstanding dudes. But then you have some that are just well, have the woman, you give it a woman. And guys, I know some of you guys probably dealt with it because a lot of you guys have dealt with women in the Philippines, right? That's all up under you. And you're like, man, why is she so jealous? Trauma. Serious trauma. And not from one relationship, from a lot of relationships. And not even talking 10, right? You have a Filipino that's 20, dated 2 guys, 3 guys. All of them did the same thing. So yeah, how you think she's gonna be? She'll be nervous, right? So this here is pretty much telling them to get your peace, also give that man some peace, which is a good thing. This is one of those good articles. It has that feminist vibe in it, which is not a bad feminist vibe. It has that vibe to tell Filipina, do something to make yourself happy, also to give your man space. Positive. Positive vibes, right? And that's all you want when you get out. You want positive vibes. You want an article, like you read the article, you guys know what I'm talking about. You read the article in Time Magazine talking about why men are struggling with dating when we all know the truth. Like, come on now. Why men are struggling. Why men are lonely. Why men are young and lonely. Yeah, men are young and lonely because women are going after the bag. Right? It's different. It's a difference in the articles, man. I'm sure you have some that are off, but this is positive vibes right here. Now it says constantly connect with friends. So it says nothing beats the support of your own group. As much as we love our partners, friends gives us a different sense of belongingness and fun. Who would have helped you survive that terror prof, hundreds of all-nighters, and the deadly study sessions better than your trusty besties? No one. And yeah, Filipinos hold their friends dearly. And so, here it says, even if it has been long since you've gotten in touch, I'm 98% sure your friends would be happily surprised that you reached out. So grab that phone, shoot them a message, and let yourself enjoy the company of your best buds. Whether it's reminiscing about your past high school days or simply catching up with recent funny stories, you're sure to feel the kind of love that's almost close to forever. Now, guys, let me tell you, you already know we have the high school reunions and and college reunions in the West, right? My wife in the Philippines, they so A. And if you anybody ever been with a Filipina, oh, they do Munseries. I'm sure you guys heard of Munseries, right? Now, it's not only Munseries. And because me, I'm the guy, I tell my lady right away, I can't do Munseries. It's too much. Right when we got together, Munseries, no, I'm not doing that. I'm a grown man. I'm not doing Munseries. But Filipina and Filipinos in general are so eventful. This is one of the countries that have the most paid time off because there's so many holidays in the Philippines, right? But the Philippines are so festive. Filipinos are so festive that my wife, she told me the other day, she said they're having a reunion for my elementary school. I said, elementary? She said, reunion for elementary. I said, what? She said, no, it's better than high school. I didn't even know about that tradition to the other day. Like, I'm learning all the time out here. She said, no, it's better than high school. I said, what? So she has the college one. I actually went to with her where I was around the corner staying at her mom's house because we had the incident at her mother's house, right? So I went with her to go drop off with them, and then I came back and I participated with them as they was having an anniversary. Um, they do work anniversaries from people that you worked with 5 years ago. Would be a meetup for that. But yeah, she said elementary anniversary. I was shocked. I said, what? I kind of want to go to it. She said she can't make it. I kind of want to go to it and get some footage. Right now, the people just of what's happening there. Yeah, okay, we got to make it to that, kid. Yeah, I want to go there, guys. Right? That's an experiment. That's an experiment for me. I want to go see how it is. I want to feel the vibe. Okay, you up? Okay, she probably sleep. But I want to go there and feel that vibe and see how it is because she said it's better. I want to go experience that. So yeah, so it says whether it's reminiscing about your high school days and simply catching up with recent funny stories, you're sure to feel the kind of love that's almost close to forever. And that's true. I know that's true because that's how Filipinos are. And the darn elementary anniversary blew my mind. I'm still stuck on it now. I gotta go to that. Guys, give a one in the chat if you want to see me go to that anniversary because I'll definitely report it. So spend time with family. Oh man, of course. This is a given. This is a given. When you come here, you become Filipino automatically. Being around a family, man. Being around a family, they all go to trips together. I took a trip with my lady, with her whole family. They like to do it for her mother's birthday, right? So like we went to Boracay together. We just went to last year we went to Baguio together. We rented out a whole house. We was out there for I think a week. Great time. And it's always fun with them, right? They bought and the family goes in like they bought all the kids, all of them. Her sisters bought their husband, all of the kids. The next sister bought the husband, all of the kids. So the house was packed, right? So we went out the house. We got food. Like I went and like one day I bought food for like 3 days, right? I went and spent 10,000, paid like $200 just to feed everybody for the 3 days. Then somebody else bought a bunch of food, and yeah, it was a fun time. But it says when you think about the person who has sacrificed so much for you, who comes to mind? Living in a family-oriented country, most of us would probably think about our parents, siblings, or someone close we treat as family. We love our family so much they're at the top of our priorities, but it's not always that we show them how much we care. So now you got to beware though, and let me explain what I mean. Right, my wife loves her family. She still puts me first. And if you have a Filipina that's putting her family first too much, of course, early on, she may not put you first. But if you're getting serious and she's still putting her family first, you got to rethink your situation. Seriously. Because you have to think if I'm going to be with this woman, especially if you're trying to find a wife, right? Even other cultures too, not just the Philippines, guys, this is for everywhere you go. So, this actually, when it comes to the family, that's Asia in general, man. That's just being out the West, right? They care more. Like in these other cultures, they take care of the elderly, right? The parents don't have to worry about anything ever again. And that was one thing I had to subscribe to. My wife let me know I don't play that. I don't play that. So I said, babe, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. She said, no, I have to take care of my mother. I have to take care of my mother. Then it's not even on a regular basis too. So don't think you guys are going to come out here or go to another place and just, you got to take care of the family. It's not true. All right. When I found out how much her mother needed, because her mother, needs an allowance. It was only $35 a month. I said, what? That's it? That's it? $35 a month. Because out here, it's so inexpensive. Anywhere on the side of the world, it's gonna be inexpensive. So those things are affordable. So it says start by simply doing chores with them. Your mama and ate will love it. I've learned from personal experience that working alongside your family can be a good starting point to conversations. And I've seen that with Christmases, New Year's. They'll usually all be cooking meals. And the reason why I say Christmases and New Year's is because that's a lot of food, right? And I've seen it. Sitting around talking to each other. Usually, Kay's older sister is the boss. As you see, they explain the hierarchy. Her sister's the one I explained it before, guys. She bought them all to Manila. Some of them stayed in the province. And she started with Kay. She bought Kay first. And Kay's not even the second oldest, but Kay was independent as well. Kay was independent woman wanting to be interdependent. That's the difference. She was independent, wanting to be interdependent. She was looking. She was always looking for a husband. She always dated with intention. And that's what I was looking to do. I was dating, looking to be married, right? When I met her, I was 32. I already know. Look, if I gotta find a woman I'm gonna grow old with now, right? Because I already knew I was secure in what I was doing, right? And I said, okay, I'm gonna go over there and make it happen. So I found her, and that's why I came here. But then I found this all out later, and I like that this is showing how to be involved in that. I'm explaining it away for foreigners. This is for Filipinos, but I'm explaining how foreigners can blend in, how I've done it, right? And it should be like that pretty much everywhere. But guys, if you dealing with a woman and she's too much, you've been dealing with her for a while, she's everything, she puts her phone me first for everything, time to rethink. Just like the guy that I reacted to recently in a Black Filipino, right? He he didn't understand how it was to deal with a Filipino woman. And she took advantage. He was getting money from his grandma, and then she turns around and tells the family, "Oh, he's getting an inheritance." Like, what are you doing? Told the brother, "Oh, yeah, he'll give me the money. He's nice. He should run fast. He should run fast." So now it says, "Taking care of yourself." I know what you're thinking right now. You're like, "This is so cliche." Oh yeah, right. I've seen this a million times. I am now here to tell you that you're absolutely right. This line is so cliche. It makes me hurt just looking at it. But as much as I hate being the parrot that repeats what people say, I'm going to do it anyway. And it's true. As a woman, also as a man too, right? Taking care of yourself is right. You have to. Um, as a woman and a man, right? And taking care of yourself is sometimes maybe being by yourself or doing certain things that make you feel good. But let me keep reading. Take care of yourself. Repeat this every day until you get sick of it. Repeat this every day until you do it. Because cliche as these words may be, they still not internalized enough by women. Society has given us the roles of caretakers in whatever form possible that we've started to prioritize other people almost every time we forget that we matter too. So true. And I like that this article is pointing that out, right? It's pointing out Filipino culture and Filipino women in a positive feminist way. You see that, guys? This is positive feminism here. It's showing how the woman takes care of everything, always concerned about the other person, right? Case like that too. Always concerned about you. Oh, are you spending too much money? Oh, we don't need that. Oh, this, and that. So naturally, you get a woman you trust. You let her manage what you're doing. You get it, guys? Because she's always concerned. Oh, this. Oh, we got to do this. We got to do it. Like when I take my trips, right? Kay's looking up flights. She's doing this. She's doing this. She's doing this. When I had she gave me the full itinerary, with the plastics in it. It was like a report. It was like a school project report, right? I had the plastics on the different pages in a folder, and so when I got to the airport, I showed a lady, right? I showed a lady at the counter, right, as I'm checking in, and then it was a Filipina. She said, "Guys, look at this." She said, "Look at his folders." So she started showing her the folders and everything. I got the plans in there. And she said, "Wow, you see this?" I said, "It's not me." I said, "My wife did that." She said, "Oh, okay, that's why." Everything, everything, and it's good. Perfect helpmate. She doesn't work. She does everything to help me. Everything, even to where if I can't sleep, she'll rub my back until I go to sleep. She still works. She edits my videos. When you see those good edits hitting hard, that's K. But she's still concerned about every single thing. She takes the lead in a positive way. She takes the lead in a helpmate way, which is what guys are looking for. Right? And this is explaining it. It's whatever form possible that we started to prioritize other people almost every time, and we forget that we matter too. So true. So when it came time for my wife wanting her bond, I kept talking her to get the bond. You know what she tells me? Oh no, I don't want to spend too much money. Oh, I don't want to do. And a lot of you guys have had Filipino like that, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then also other cultures, so you find like that in other cultures. So forget that, we matter too. And me as a man, that's why I support everything she's doing. She tells me, "Oh, I want to do this." I'm okay. What do we do? How can I help you? Because she's made it everything about me. And so it says here, this is a reminder to you, a strong Filipina, that you matter, that you can give love to others and also to love yourself. Wow, man, this article here is a breath of fresh air, and I'm happy I didn't. I'm reacting to this like right off the cuff, guys. I didn't read it, and the reason why I didn't read it because I want to give a true reaction on how I feel at the moment. But it's letting it be known the feminism is different. This is a feminist article. This is a feminist article. Only thing I don't like, when I was in Calapan, right? And I seen the toxic feminist stuff in a man's toilet stall. I said, man, they're trying to come out here. Yeah, guys, they're trying to come out, but there's no need for it here, right? You know, the guys, and it's like that in the West too. Guys aren't just trying to stop women from getting ahead. You would think so, but they're not. And so the reason, because guys are like that here too, the women don't trip. There's no need to trip. They get it. But this is a reminder to you, a strong Filipino, that you matter. Right? The ones that have the job that does the 50-50, cooks, cleans, and doesn't complain about it. They're doing that for Filipinos all the time here. 50-50. Half of the bills, everything. And then, man, I got to show this stuff, man. So, because you already know, guys, what we get all the time. Oh, well, I'm going to talk about it no more. So this article here is telling them to take care of yourself too, that you can give love to others and also to yourself, that you don't need to set yourself on fire to warm the people you care about. You have always been enough. And when you give you some time to yourself, you will be so much more. Wow. Videos like this stuff like this make you want to cry, man. Seriously. But it says, buy that well-loved self-help book you've been eyeing to have. Take that nap and wake up feeling refreshed. Don't miss your psychotherapist appointment. Enjoy a spiritual retreat. Eat healthy. Seek help. Get support. Conclusion. Being a strong, independent Filipino in this country is an everyday battle, but you know that you're not alone. I guess that's the irony of it. Best of luck, strong, independent woman. Do you see the difference in a strong, independent woman? They're preaching interdependence. You see that? They're preaching interdependence. And I knew it. I didn't have to read the articles. I knew already. I said, this is going to be, because of course they preach being strong, right? And so I still think back on that. You do have some women that are like the ones in the West because they see Western culture. And Western culture is starting to make other countries toxic, right? But you got to understand, younger guys may not understand this about women in other countries, right? So they will think, oh, all women outside are going to be like this and like that. And they think it's like some magic story fantasy where you still got to know what you're picking, right? You still have to know what you're picking, because this article is positive. It shows that they're telling women not to be over strong and independent, right? Tell them, chill. All right. It's telling women, okay, you worried about everybody else. Take a break, because here they don't turn it off. Just like that woman, I'm promoting it because she was in the West, that did the double shift, came home and cooked for a man, got bashed. How you bash a woman for coming and taking care of a woman? How do you bash a woman for a humble woman going to Thailand, right? Wasn't a passport sis like the other woman. Found a Thai dude and then humbled herself. She said, I was open. I love telling stories. I love telling long, elaborate stories. Of course, us as American men, we love that, right? We talk to our women to tell long stories. We deal with it. Her Thai husband wasn't going for it. He didn't pay attention to it. He would tune out. She said, I learned to tell shorter stories so I can still explain it to him. And it's worked out. I've humbled myself. Like, what? I'm listening to her talk, and I'm sitting there like, man. And then she's getting hate on her YouTube channel. I'm sure a lot of you guys know her. I'm sitting there like, this is different. This is different. All right? Let me go to you guys now. Let me go back here, guys. Let me go here to see the start. And also, I want to give a shout out to Atherin Weeks for the $5 super chat. It says, just checking in. Salama and good morning. Evening to all. I'll be putting in for a consultation soon. God bless. Yes, and thanks a lot for the super chat, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the money. And you.
I appreciate it. And let me get back to you guys as well for the comments. And thank you guys for joining in with me. Let me see here. I see you guys are commenting here. And let me go up to the beginning to see what some of you guys are saying. And so I'm going to go right after Atherin Weeks super chat. And so it says here, sometimes that's cool, but I can't let my woman have control of everything, especially money. I let her pay the bills, etc. But damn. Well, and that's the thing too. I'm like that as well, our phase life. My lady doesn't have control of my money. She pays all the bills though. But I don't mind her having control of the money. Because I know she's not going to be responsible with it. She's proven to me over 8 years, that she knows what she's doing. And oh yeah, Kay, when is that elementary get together? Where's it gonna be at? November? Yeah, we should go. I want to see what it's about. I want to see. That's gonna be an experience for me. And so him downstairs said, in that relationship, you want your woman to take care of you, but also logically, her survival is dependent on your physical well-being. Lots of partners, men and women, forget that. Yeah, it's true. And the interdependent thing did it for me, right? When women are that way, it's a breath of fresh air, right? It really is, because you can rest easy as a man, especially if you're a man that's retired. Because most guys that come to the Philippines are retired, right? So if you come out here to be an expat and to never go back, yeah, you want that. But as a guy that's coming here that's still active and making money, or you want to make the bag, it's good for that too. And so Alpha Life said, yeah, mine's is pretty much the same, extra frugal. And that's when you know, guys, that's when you know you've got the right one, right? When you come out here and she's extra frugal, she doesn't care about the bag. She would rather not talk about money. Makes it a plus. Because guys are pretty much checked out. Because it's different. And guys are seeing that now, okay, it's different over here on this side. I think I'm going to go over there. But hold on, guys. Let me give a little break here real quick.
Because they're poor.
Ouch!
Did she say what? We're poor? Oh, no. Where you think your ancestors came from? They're very, very poor. From the African nation, okay? The American just gave your ancestors an opportunity. That's why you're there now, huh? You're just jealous of us. You know what I mean? You're just jealous. Okay, so, well, we'll see. Because, we're accepted anywhere. wherever we go. We're very accepted. You're just jealous, girl. You're just jealous. To be honest, that's not our fault. Your attitude is your fault. Attitude, girl. Your attitude is fault why your men living out there, going into other country. That's why.
Yeah, guys, that right there, that one, that was the best reaction ever because she is straight from the province, man. Yeah, don't me. Girls in the province talk like, don't me. Your attitude, girl. That's why they're leaving. And the pause on her. And the long pauses kills me. But let me see here. So 305 proof. Yazriel said, that's what I need, Jay, 50-50. Yeah, and the thing is, when you come here though, a 305 proof, if you're looking to stay here or somewhere else, right? It's so inexpensive. You wouldn't even want your wife to go 50-50 or your lady. You won't want that because it's not enough. It is enough, but not really. Let me explain. Unless she has a 50,000 plus a month job or career, it won't be worth it. Like the dude I interviewed, one of my last interviews, Ronald, he had a Filipina that was making like 100,000 a month. That's different. That's different. He wanted to find her something else for her to retire, but I'm like, she probably don't want to retire, bro. She making the bag already, but she's still feminine. But so if it's like that, yeah. But if she's making like 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month, you might as well just retire her, man, and have her do a business. That's what I would do. Take her out of her regular job and start a business with her. Start like one of those locations where those side of the road food places or something like that, and then have her manage a person and put a worker there. Because the thing is, when you do something like that, Filipino are working for like 500 pesos a day. That's like $10. So the people that do that kind of stuff, you probably only be paying a person 300 pesos to 400 pesos, like $6, $6 to $8, and they're happy with that. And then when it makes good money, you give them extras. That's what Stephen and Bayer was doing. So yeah, I'm not sure if they're giving a game on that, but they should be, because a lot of people need that game. And Terrace May said, at the end of the day, we want respect and peace. Once a woman realizes that, yeah, and that's what it's about. And women are giving that to you. Women are giving that to you. And the thing is, when you leave the country, the women that are nines, not nines and tens, the women that are eights and sevens that still look very good, look at themselves as threes and fours. So their head is not blown. It's wild. It's wild. And so Limitless Horizon said, when a man is out the world fighting the battles to provide for and protect his family, the last thing he want to have to do is come home and battle with this woman. Woman should give you peace. And yes, but at the same time, you still can go to these other countries. You can come out here and find that same battle. You'll find that same battle. So, you got to deal with it as it comes. Just like the guys in 98 Fiance, right? They got a black guy. Oh, you don't respect me? You call me ugly and fat in front of your friends? Leave her. Him downstairs said a piece of mine, a piece of chicken, and a piece of yes. Yep. Because at the end of the day, women want the same thing. Women want the same thing. They want to eat, they want to have relations, and they want security. A guy wants that too. The way a guy gets security with a woman is secure that, she's with him for him and that she's not going to turn around and want to leave him for something stupid. And so Harmony Nature said, hey, I'm in Ube Union near Poblacion. Where can I find rentals in Bahal? you gotta walk around. You gotta walk around. You gotta spend a day out walking around the town. Like when you're walking around, Harmony of Nature, when you're walking around, and then ask around too, right? That's where you're gonna find the rentals, and you're gonna find the inexpensive ones because Filipinos will tell you. That's what you do. Walk around, go into town, walk around, look around, and ask. When you see people in the street, hey, because right now you're out there by Bohol, so people are gonna speak English. You're in an area where people speak English the most, so walk around, talking to people, and say, hey, where can I find a rental? That's inexpensive too. You can ask like that, and they'll find you. People will help. It's really nowhere it's inexpensive. Really, I'm not sure about Bohol. What I mean by inexpensive, under 10,000. Because when I was in the province in Calapan, guys, my place I had was about $100 a month, and my cost of living was so low. For my bills alone, they were like $600-700, $800. Because I ate a lot there. The reason why I ate so much is because I was bored most of the time. But then places in the surrounding areas were like 4,000, $60 to $80, guys, for rent. So you'll find those places walking around the town, asking around the people. As you're walking to the block, hey, where can I find a place to rent? They'll tell you. And so 305 proof Black American women are the only ones against 50-50 while bragging about over six figures. Can't make this up. No, you can't, man. And a lot of times women talk about they're making a bag. They're lying. They're capping, right? They're capping. And it's wild because the woman making a bag, they're getting the guys they want, but they're taking care of them. There's a lot of women that starting to take care of guys. And they would like that because they can control them. Figure they keep them in the house, but then the guy ends up cheating anyway and leaving them. It's wild. It's wild. But women don't understand. A lot of women are starting to get it, though. A lot of women understand. Like, I seen a video today. I'm going to react to it. And the woman said, no. She said, guys are soft nowadays. She said, guys talking about going 50-50. But she didn't say it to bash guys necessarily. She said, no. I want a guy 100%. Only thing that was wrong, we should have asked her, said, okay, so would you be willing to downgrade your living? That was the question to ask. Would you be willing to downgrade your living and get taken care of? Because women don't understand. You can get with a basic dude, and I talked about it yesterday, and go live somewhere that's not as expensive. I hate to repeat myself, but I was in New York, very expensive. I went to upstate New York, cheap as ever. A lot of women won't do it. And so him downstairs says your partner should make you feel like a king at home, so you want to covet her. It's true. So true. What's going on? What's going on, Vaughn? How you doing, brother? And so Wade said that's crazy too. What's crazy too is that modern women that don't like men, they want to become passport sisters. And the sad part is most foreign men are not checking for them. They need to be on their best behavior. And they realize that when they go to places, like when they go to Africa or like especially Jamaica, where they want the guy for the reasons why they want him, you know, you already know why, perverted reasons. And they check them right away. They have to be feminine. They have no choice. Because those guys outside of the country are not playing. And you would think places like Asia, Philippines, or Thailand, the guys would be no, those guys are hard too. And I think Asian guys don't get enough credit. The reason why they don't get enough credit, because you have so many guys in public media showing that you need to be soft. So when the outsider looking in sees Philippines and they see a bunch of things happening, they would see guys that are not so masculine a lot of times. But you out here, you're like, oh, no, these dudes is hard in the Philippines. These guys don't play. So Malik Kweli said she went in. I don't know what you're talking about. And so Wade said, Until one or two Western women are on their best behavior to live abroad like us passport brothers. Foreign men are only looking for real women that are loving and caring, not a bougie woman. And that's why I respected that woman that went to Thailand so much. She went out there, adjusted to the culture, and adjusted to her man. A woman is supposed to cater to you, not the other way around. She catered to him. And also, he's established too. I respected everything she was saying. She didn't bash the bros. And the way she explained it was the same way it happened with me too. Like, at first, I still consider she's still a passport sis. She doesn't understand it though. I came here like in an expat style, but I'm still a passport bro because I came here looking for love. Wasn't traveling out looking for love before, but I came here not needing to come here really, but I did need to come here, right? I needed to come here. For her, it was different. Usually, passport sis can find a man back home. It's different. A husband, right? I should say. Even ladies from the boondocks see what's going on. Wild so bad. It sure is. Let me show some guys' comments. And so I can hold it down. It's just in case. And so Cal Gerson said e-commerce is a legit option, especially on a global scale. It is. It is. When you get over these other countries, e-commerce is it, right? Amazon is it. And there's tons of Filipinos doing into that stuff too. Don't be fooled. Filipinos in the crypto, they're in everything. E-commerce. You come out here and go to those type of events here. A lot of Filipinos learning. And so Wade said she belonged to the province. Yeah. He said, just like Kiki Palmer, that used to be a good film actress, said to herself, she's hood and bougie. She used to be a good actor. Turns out she wants to be ratchet now and being a hood singer. Yeah, that's the problem. And what's being shown right now in the public eye is to downgrade American women. Look what they're promoting. They're promoting Suki Hana, right? They're promoting women saying, I only go raw dog. What's the other girl's name? They're promoting that. And it made you think, wait a minute. When Nicki Minaj and all of them was doing it, but it was bad since Lil' Kim talking about the stuff she's talking about. It was made to keep women down. And they don't see it. Things happen, feminism happened to keep women down. They didn't realize it, and now it's too late. And that's why, for me, it's necessary to react to every single one. And this is the reason why you can't let them get the upper hand and have it be painted a certain way. Let me give you an example of what happened, right? Because media the way it is, I'm in a store this morning, right? African guy was in there, 2 African guys, and there was 2 Filipino workers in 7-Eleven early in the morning, right? I just woke up. This happened like 3 in the morning. So what happened was the African guy was over there, using the N-word, right? And I was the only other guy in the store but them 2 and the 2 Filipino workers. I knew that was towards me. I'm not dumb. I can pick up signals. I can pick up innuendos, all that stuff. I'm from New York, right? So I got pissed. Of course, I'm not going to approach the African dudes. I went to the Filipino worker. I broke it down. And I didn't want to have to break it down this way. O'Shea has been in Africa fighting this for the longest, right? Trying to talk about the unity and the way African Americans are looked at outside, right? So I told the Filipino right away. I said, Black people and Africans are not the same. So I told him, I said, I feel offensive to them using the N word. I said, see, you know what happens? I said, when I first came to the Philippines, Filipinos use the N word to me because they see me and automatically assumed I talk like that when I don't. I haven't talked like that since I was living in New York City at 16 years old, 15 years old. When I was in high school, I stopped talking like that. So for the fact that they're saying it, I know exactly what they're saying. And I said, I take offense to that. I said, I've been in the Philippines for 8 years. I'm married to a Filipina. I fight those stereotypes on YouTube all the time. Right? That they're doing against guys coming out here. Saying guys are just coming out here to get with the low value woman. And they humbled right away. I had to say something to the Filipinos because those guys were being ignorant. It was sad. I was crushed because the divide, right? All people are the same everywhere. But automatically, you assume, oh, they did the same thing Filipinos do here. They automatically assumed, right? Because I look a certain way. I had on my tank top. You see my tattoo. Oh, he's a gangster. He's a dog. And I'm not that way. So I came home, told Kay, I'm highly upset. I was highly upset. And it's wild, right? Stuff like that makes a guy go, oh, you know what? But I'm international. And even though I was back home, I wouldn't. I'd be in jail. That makes guys go to violence, right? Because it was clearly disrespectful. And, you know, it's wild, man. You turn around and think, wait a minute. You think guys, oh, you know, they're low value or whatever. But you know when guys don't respect? In jail. I know my pops was a CO. In jail, in prison, you learn respect there. It's wild. So the guys and knuckleheads in the street, they go to jail, learn respect. But still, people that are in society don't understand respect. Right? They don't. And so I explained it like that. I seen in the Filipinos' eyes, they felt bad for laughing with those guys. And I hope those guys probably see this right now. I hope they see it. Or see it at some point. Because it's like, why would you do that? You automatically look at black people a certain way. And that's why I didn't like what Fresh and Fit was doing. Fresh and Fit, because one is from the West Indies and one is from Africa, looks down on black people. Right? They do. And of course you have a lot of people that are ignorant in the black community. But you acting like that is ignorant. Right? What they did to this morning was ignorant. Even what the Filipinos did laughing with them was ignorant. So I took offense. I said something. And I had to tell them, I'm not that way. You may see me right now. You may automatically assume, but you can't judge a book by its cover. They humbled instantly. And I was livid. So my hand was like shit. I was so upset. Like, man. But it was all good. So AJ, y'all ever walk about Eastwood, hang out and cook it? Yes, our phase life. Okay, don't we got a video of Eastwood? Yeah, we're gonna edit that and put it up on Black Filipino soon. Our phase life. We went out there like a week and a half ago, and we had a ball. Right, we went to this Mexican place. What was the Mexican? Cilantro. Yeah. You guys out here, you got to try cilantro. It was good. It was good. It's like it's not even a Mexican restaurant. It's a Filipino mashup. But what made it so good is they take pride in their ingredients. And I love that in the Philippines. And you know what I find? Most Filipinos that travel out understand quality. So if you find a Filipino chef that has been out of the country, like that guy could have went to Mexico or probably US, coming from US, and he bought a restaurant here because he loves Mexican food, and it'll be to die for. And so Discerning Dash said, Jay, is it better to ring shop for your woman in the Philippines or buy in the States to propose? Can I have some advice on that? Well, Discerning Dash, I gotta say, man, uh have you been to the Philippines yet? Because if you haven't been to the Philippines yet, don't buy any rings. Don't buy any rings. I know a guy that proposed to his Filipino online, and then he's the guy that the Filipino wanted to go to the US and left him. He's thinking come here and retire. She's thinking going to the US and progress. They were incompatible. He bought her a ring before he came here. Horrible mistake. So I got to ask that question. So if that's the case and you're saying, should I buy it before I get there? I had to add that in. I'm sorry. I got to make sure you're okay, man. Are you bringing her back to the States? But the ring, you'll find a cheaper ring here. Also, too, they, well, not really, because they sell it off. But out here, it's pretty much gonna be the same price because they have the same jewelry stores they have in the States here. Especially if you go to the malls, like you go to Shangri-La. Oh yeah, you'll find a ring there. It's gonna be expensive, but they have all the like. You go to Shangri-La, you'll find everything all in that one space for jewelry. It'd be like Brian and Wing in the U.S., so it really wouldn't matter. But I have to ask you that question though, bro. Did you come here to the Philippines yet? Meet her? Because if not, I wouldn't be getting her a ring yet. You got to be around her and know her in person. What's going on, Anna Marie? She said, shout out from Maryland, USA. How you doing? He said, a vlogger told you don't like black girls no more. You still got good black. Do you like white girls now? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. That makes no sense. Filipinos are sloppy? No, yeah, it's nonsense. So that's what these Western women love to watch. They love to watch 90 Day Fiance, which that is just a TV show. Shows are for entertainment purposes only. Dating around the world is reality. But you know what it is though? I'll tell you what's happening. They know. See, still, women control TV. Why? They watch it. They get analytics on TV, right? So they see, okay, where the money's coming from. So they will never show those guys the good light on 90 Day Fiance because they know women want to bash it. Women get a kick out of making fun of 90 Day Fiance, especially now. Because you think they don't know what's going on, Passport Bros? Right? So look what's happening. Every woman reacting to 90 Day Fiance. A Filipino does a guy wrong. Oh, see? Oh, you went over there. Guy in Vietnam, even though she's a modern woman and he got with the wrong woman. Oh, you see? They're supposed to be submissive over there. Like, woman, are you not? You don't think logically. You're not thinking logically. He got with the wrong one. That's all it is. Oh, well, you want to get a woman over there that was submit. Oh, look at the submissiveness. And you see the reactions on all over the place, and you're like, huh? Doesn't make any sense. Why they be against the 50-50 deal? That's a solid thing to have. Well, I get it. I get it. But I don't get it. Right? They want the 150. They want the 150 to 0. Right? Meaning they get their bag. You get the bags. You got to have more than them, right? So they're getting half of what you have. So that's the 50. And then you paying 100% of the bills. And they'll contribute to nothing. That's what they want. That's the perfect deal for most women. Right? That's why I'm happy. I didn't know I said that in the article, but it showed that, oh yeah, you women are doing a lot, and then you're working, you're doing the 50-50, and you're taking care of doing everything, and then you need to take time for yourself because you're always concerned about someone else. That's guys want to hear that. I'm sitting there like, that article was for women to see, right? But then you on TikTok, women saying, hold up, I gotta show this to you guys. 1 second, I gotta show you guys something.
In the days, most of the time, you would wait for someone to make the first move. It might be on the first date, it might be the third date, whatever. It could be the man, it could be the woman. But now, all my friends have noticed that the man has stopped making the first move. All my girlfriends are like, they're waiting. It's the third date, fourth date, a week later. He hasn't gone in for the kiss. He doesn't do any touching or anything. And I've asked my dude friends that are single, and they are like, you don't know where a woman's gonna go with that story anymore. I ain't touching nobody. And it sucks because the Me Too movement is so strong and so powerful for the people that need it, but it shouldn't ruin the maturity that we should have within intimacy and relationships.
Whew. Hey guys, and that woman's Asian. She's married to Young Jeezy. She knew she had to be submissive, and she already was, naturally, right? To get Young Jeezy. She knew what he wanted, right? You see a lot of guys in the media that are choosing women that are foreign and also going to foreign places. They've been paso bros forever. And that's the example right there, right? She deals with logic in a woman way. She understands. She sees the issues. She sees the problems that the Me Too movement has caused. But most women won't ever see it. Yeah, Sukiyana, that's right. Most women won't see it. And Darius the Great said it. He said, like you, I got my Mia Panay, and man, it's like night and day. It is. And so Moeen said, did the lying Somalian brick face woman story make the news in the Philippines? No, it hasn't, but that was wild, man. That was wild. Woman was so gun-ho on that story. Oh, see, you gotta protect black women. I said, I knew something was up, guys. I knew it. I seen the first video where she's in the hospital. She put saline in her face. And then she had a face mask on. They showed the face mask. And then took the face mask off and said, you guys gonna let him hit me like that? And she did it 3 years ago. Wow. Wild. And women are still defending it. Oh, well, women need protection. Huh? What? And she may go to prison. Brian Rennie said it. That's a scam. She scammed a bunch of people out of their money. So she may actually go to prison. And she should. Rightfully so, right? I don't know why she thought she would get away with it. You put on, because 3 years ago, the internet, it was viral. Things like that would go, but she didn't go viral. She went viral this time. And she got everything she asked for. And so William said, Jenna May is the epitome of what a woman should be. She is generous and has her head on straight. She sure does. She sure does. She sure does. And that's the thing. If you could find something back home that's like that, go for it. He said he thinks she went all the way to the Philippines just to say, hey, man, bro, the white woman. Yo, I said it. You know what's wild, guys? Let me tell you what happened, right? I was with Kay and we went to this was like 6 years ago. We went to Thailand, right? We went to what's the name of the place, Kay? The island? Krabi. Not it was Krabi. We went to where Richie Mack is at. But we went to Pattaya, right? So I'm over there in Pattaya, and right on the strip on Walking Street, they had signs, oh, African woman, white woman, Russian woman. And I said, wait a minute. I said, who in the world? Some guys would though, but I wouldn't want to do that. If I was single and looking for a lady tonight, I would want a Thai woman. Why would I want to get an African woman, a Russian woman? Why would I get a Russian woman? Why would I get an African woman? Why would I do that? I found that weird, but I get it. I get it though. Shout out who care? Oh, the Wallace Life. Okay, Kay, you can shout him out too. You can join the stream. But she's tired over there. Kay's tired. Yeah, shout out to the Wallace Life. What's going on, man? I seen him earlier. I shouted him out already, Kay. See, Kay's not even watching the stream. She didn't even know I shouted you out, bro. She didn't even know I shouted him out. She knocked out. I shouted him out early in the beginning of the stream. It was his other channel that I shouted out. And so our face life said, is there such thing of Black American and African unity outside the States? Is there any in the Philippines? I've been to various countries with them. No love. You know, it is in my church where I go to. And that's all I've seen. In that church where I go to, there's a bunch of Africans that are into the church, and it's unity there. It is somewhat. Don't get me wrong, I talk to African people. I see them outside. What's up? I'm cool with them. But that today in the store had me ticked off. Because I already know it's like that, right? And I'm not into the I'm into Black rights. I am, right? I'm not into, the Pan-African stuff like that. But I see O'Shea talk about it sometimes. And he talks about ending the divide between Africans and African Americans. And I respect it, right? So when things like what happened today happens, I knew it was about me. And why would you be assuming that right away? And I do talk harsh. I come from that environment, right? But I'm not of the environment. And when I was in the environment, I was of it. But I grew up and changed. People can change, right? So when that happens like that, even when it happened with the Filipino when I came here, I told him, I said to the people today, I said, the Filipino called me the N-word. And I got mad too years ago. Because they automatically assume it's like that. Everybody's not like that. But I respect it more coming from Filipinos. You get it? You get me? And the reason why is because when you see what Fresh and Fit did, especially Marin, and he's African, and he says N-word all the time, N-word all the time, and the fact the way he looks at most Black people, pretty much all of them, deserves a butt whooping. And that's facts, right? I'm not one to get all violent over that stuff, but I feel people that are like that are like, people say, oh, that's the same thing as a white person saying N-word. You get what I'm saying? That's the same. If a person's Black and they don't really, understand or accept the culture, it's the same. So when he was saying it, I was pissed. I was like, mother, and I told the Filipinos that. Because don't get me wrong, there's African people that are respectful, that understand Black culture and get it, and it's about being together. But then there's African people that look down on Black people, and I don't respect them. That's facts. Because I don't look down on African people. I don't look down on anybody. We all equal. So don't sit there, turn around looking down on Black people. Right? Especially with the passport bros what's going on now. Everybody's together. You got Black passport bros, white passport bros, Asian passport bros. I won't be surprised you see a Martian passport bro. Oh, I gotta go. I gotta react to the Chinese passport bros and been doing it forever. That's gonna be a good one. They come here to the Philippines all the time. Find Filipina, Korean. They're from everywhere. But they're not necessarily passport bros. I consider the ones passport bros, the Chinese in the States. Yeah, they own the Chinese out here. They own Boracay. They own Divisoria. No, okay, they pretty much run it. They run it even with the black market, right? They got it like New York now because they kept getting raided. They kept getting raided. So now the black market where they hold the sneakers, it's like New York. I went to a place. I don't want to say I went because people was, oh, they still got it there, raid them. I went to a place where I used to go to, and I, I um I said, yeah, I want to see. I said, where's your sneakers? The guy said, and so I asked that, and then the other person walked up to me. Right, he seen me. He said, "Come here, I want to show you something." I said, "What do you mean you want to show me?" He said, "I want to show you the sneakers." And then so I didn't go. I went with the next guy. He said, "I want to show you." And so I went to the back. He took me in the back and took me downstairs and walked around the corner. Then he opened up a gate. It was just like New York City. And I said, "Oh, he had everything in there." And the wild thing is, when we went in there, we was able to shoot a video in there because we didn't show their face, right? So we shot a video in there. As long as you don't say who you are, you say, "Hey, it's a secret sneaker shop," and all fair game, they let you film whatever you want. But the reason they do it like New York now is they got shut down. Yeah. He said, yes, I've been to Philippines. Yes, I've been to the Philippines already. I met with Filipino on a PH. And we talked about where to live. She wants to live in a PH. But bringing her here first. I'm going back next to see her. Well, yeah, if you met her and you're still working in the US and you want to have her there, I would say do it. Of course, you're always taking the risk of her changing. But I know tons of Filipino that haven't changed. And the wildest life is one. He has his lady still. She's still with her. It's been 10 years plus. So I know other people. I know tons of other people. So yeah, I know the success that works. Some women just remain that way, right? A society can't change them. So then you'll know within a couple years if you have one. And if you do, man, I'm happy. I would love to hear more about it. I would love you to come back and say, hey, Jay, it's been perfect. I would love to hear about it because more dudes need to see, even though dudes won't, that you can bring them back. I don't even suggest it because of the things that happen that go wrong all the time. I know I can bring K back, right? I took 8 years to figure that out. So, but it makes no sense to go back because we can make money here. We can make more money being outside of the country. Traveling around different countries, we make more money. So Zura Lyon said, hello, Jay. I found out recently about a little bit of Negritos history. Have you seen any there? Yes, they're all out here. They were the first people here. Also Australia too. I'm gonna go out to meet them over by I haven't met them yet for so long. I don't know why, but I gotta go out there and meet them. I'm gonna go out there with the guy that I met at the t-shirt shop and specifically go to meet the Negritos, which are the ETA. Huh? He don't know him, but I'm sure he knows where to go. I'm gonna go out there and find them. They're there, and also the natives here too are from K's province as well, but they're straight Filipino. They're usually darker. See, that's the thing. Filipinos are black because when a Filipino is in a province and they're not, shaded all day from these big skyscrapers out here, they're darker than me. I'm still light because I'm still brown skinned, but I'm still light because I'm shaded by all of these buildings here. When I was in the province, I was darker. I'm sure some of you guys have noticed. But no, I need to go out there and do a video on it. I'm mad at myself. I haven't done it yet. I've showed the what's the name of the people from your area, Kay? Yeah, I seen the Mangyans. The Mangyans, they're native as well. They're native Filipinos as well. So they had the Mangyans and the Etas here. They were here first. And the Mangyans are pretty much, they like have more like an Indian look. Kind of like the Indians in the US, which are, part of the same culture too. Everything around the world is connected. We're all from the same people. Whether people want to believe it or not, white people, black people, all from the same people. And that's fact. So Darnie said eventually we have to move away from Western topics. It's starting to leak toxicity overseas. I really talk about the Matrix when I'm overseas. Godspeed and peace, Jay. Well, what you don't understand, a dark energy. I haven't talked about it my whole time here in the Philippines, right? I talk about it to bring guys out, dark energy, because of the dark energy that women have in the West, right? And I spoke about it yesterday. I speak on it because I'm a guy that's been out. I speak on it. I said it yesterday because my cousin, somebody like my cousin, right, who feels broken. There's guys that feel broken in the West. And they need to hear it from a guy that's been here forever. That's why I'm going to start pretty soon on live streams, giving free game on how to come here. Because more guys need to know. Dark energy. That's why in the videos, I usually put things in the videos the way I do, right? And I use things like that, like this. Way. Because guys need to know.
This is the way.
And guys need to consistently hear that. Whenever a woman says something crazy, guys need to hear. The way. It's the way. Guys need to see the stories guys are telling, right? My wife didn't even know it was that bad because I don't talk about it. It took me being in the Philippines for 5 years to speak on it. My wife had no idea. She started editing videos and said, wow. So I actually held back from talking about it for the longest. I remember I had this in my head since I was on Philip Scott's channel. I was on the African Diaspora channel. And Philip Scott was showing why black men need to travel, right? I almost mentioned guys need to get your passport and leave. That was in my mouth then, and I held back. And what I said, the reason why I got bashed with black women when I was on, I did that show 6 years ago. I got bashed with black women on a show, something horrible. I did a video talking about it before. I think I'm gonna react to it. The reason why I got bashed because I said Filipina are a lot like black women. Got bashed for it. And now you see that. They're like that, but in a positive way. So what I said in the show wasn't wrong. But I said that. Yeah, I did. I stuck my foot in my mouth, but I was cool with it. I got bashed. I didn't care. I should have been speaking. I been knew this was the way. That's why I left. But I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying, though. But pretty soon, that's why I got to go out and show the other countries, too. Right? More so than the Philippines. So I'm going to start my troop in November. Huh? No, November. When we go to your province. Huh? You got to go, babe. Yeah, we could go. We could go for a day, okay? See what's going on. I want to see how it is. I want to see that. I want to get that experience. Yeah, I want to meet all the old people. Yes, I want to meet all the old people, and I want to see how it is. Because Filipinos are so festive, so I want to show that. That's a good video for guys. It's not going to get a lot of views, but guys will see that and go, wow, I like it. You know, it kind of reminds me of how I was in the 80s. Guys remember those times. 80s was the last of the Mohicans, man. I'm happy I came up in the 80s. I'm so happy I came up in the 80s. When the whole block was together, y'all know what I'm talking about? When you get flipped on by your neighbor. Your neighbor flipped on you like it's your mother. The times where there was morals, right? I come from that time. So when I came here, I said, oh, wow, it's just like where I'm from. The way they dance and the way the block parties, and it was like I said, wow, it's just like where I'm from, the Philippines. The way they're so festive, we're festive like that. Everybody cares about each other, you know. And I fell in love. Yeah, it was. The music was better. The music was better in the 80s. And you know, stuff I love, and they did a tribute to him the other day. Um, People like Biz Markie, man. Remember when music was fun? And it you know, and then what's the name? With Flavor Flav and what's the guy's name? That get up to get down. 911 is a joke in your old town. That was the hip hop I love. You know, we are all in the same gang. That was my stuff. I be sitting there, I used to do the run band. All that. I was a dancing maniac. Big Daddy Kane. Yeah, my mother loved Big Daddy Kane. I used to get tired of my mother. Oh, I love him. He's so handsome. Public Enemy, I'm talking about. Yep. Public Enemy. Public Enemy. Biz Markie, man. They did a tribute to Biz Markie the other day. Because you know Biz Markie passed from COVID. He passed from COVID. And they did a tribute to him the other day. And man, it was the best thing ever. Biz Markie was from Long Island. The reason why he was in hip hop, he would travel from all the way from Suffolk County into the city and go to Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn. They said they would see Biz Markie, he'd be in the school. So as hip hop was getting started, he pit on everybody. Biz Markie was pitting on all these dudes. I had no idea. The leaders of the new school, yup. And then after that, that's when Thug came in. The Thug music came in. Cool G Rap kind of started that a little bit. Cool G Rap started, he was one of the innovators of the Thug music. Yeah, Tribe Called Quest, I loved all that stuff. And then it turned to gangster. And that's why I jumped into the Pookieism. Because I'm from Queens, and Mobb Deep, you know, Jay-Z and them all started getting popular, and I came up as a teenager, right? And I'm hearing all this, and I was in Queens, and survival of the fittest, only the strong can survive. And all the young kids running around with guns, it turned into a nightmare. I went from the 80s to dancing to the 90s, kids carrying guns. You in school worried about getting shot. Yeah. Yep. The block parties, yep. Yeah, I know it's morning. Yeah, I know Caleb. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm happy to see you here, Caleb. He's able to catch me now. You also, what's the name was in here the other day? What's that guy's name? That's in Angela City? Michael. Is Michael? He's able to catch my live now. But yeah. I loved it back then, man. The togetherness. Yep, the music became beef, East Coast versus West Coast. Which Tupac kind of destroyed the whole rap game, man. That's like something for another time. Tupac, Jay-Z. No, it wasn't them actually. Yeah, it was Tupac too. Jay-Z, and also what's the other guys that was in the West Coast? What's the guys that in '92 they destroyed it actually. It started with them. What's the name? Yeah, Biggie too. But Biggie was not really. Biggie didn't really. He was talking about violent stuff, but he wasn't really violent like that. Biggie talked about it, but Biggie came from it. It was different. I respected Biggie more than NWA. Yes, NWA ruined music. They did. They ruined music. I know I'm about to get into that right now. NWA, yep, they ruined it. And so, shouts out to my man Terrence Mays with the $20 super chat. He said, I served in mill in Japan over 20 years ago. Had a great Japanese girlfriend, was traditional. I figured I had time to get a woman like that in the States. Guys, it gets no better. Don't be like me in 40s, regretting and catching up. You know what, man? I say this, Terrence. I'm gonna help you out. I met Terrence before. Terrence, I'm gonna help you, man. Free of charge, bro. I'm gonna help you. But anyway, guys,
Thank you
Terrence,
for the money, and thank you for the money, and you.
Thanks for the super chat, brother. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, because it's here. You're in your 40s. You're still young, bro. You're still young. Guys are getting broken, man. Guys are getting broken. And yeah, and Clarence Rudolph said it right. Guys are getting broken and still coming here, and they're changing their whole life around. And I want guys to keep doing that, going everywhere you want to. I'm not one of those guys. Come to the Philippines, go to the Philippines. Go everywhere. I seen a story today talking about passport bros that are Chinese that are in America, that they go to America, get established, right? They're older, then they go back to China and then bring the woman back to America, so they get the young woman from China. So they're passport bros in that way. I can't wait to do a video on that. I actually want to see if I can interview somebody too, but people don't really want to do interviews. But yeah, man, back to what we was talking about before too. Big Pun, yeah, Big Pun man was that dude, but he was negative though. But still, I liked him because he was an MC. He was still old school to me in a way, because he was an MC, right? And he had made positive music too, even though it was mostly negative. He still made positive music because he was a victim of the culture, just like Fat Joe was too, who put Big Pun on. He was a victim of the culture also because Fat Joe was selling drugs when he was younger. He was a product of his environment, but he was an old school hip hop Fat Joe. But yeah, I missed that, man, when hip hop was hip hop. And what it was, my uncles and the guys older than me put me on the hip hop because I was growing up. You had the older guys you looked up to in the neighborhood. They would listen to hip hop, and you listen to hip hop, and so I knew 60s music. And you weren't the parents, and my parents were what, 20 years older than me, so I knew all that stuff. I knew all the songs. I had fun, man. I love my childhood. I think anybody that grew up in the 80s or before then they learned togetherness, right? And they learned how to be traditional men and traditional women, right? Because we came up with it. And then music culture changed everything. Music culture, it changed everything. And you see where the agenda started. And that's what ruined everything. Music, everything played a hand. Music ruined the community. It ruined the whole country pretty much. People moved by music. Women, men moved by music. But that's what it was. That's what it was. I responded to brother earlier, but I feel so passionate about this, right? Because if I'm not passionate about it, who better to talk about what I talk about than me, right? No woman can tell me anything. That's why I'm so strong and passionate about it. Like, they say anything, how dare you? That's how I look at them. How dare you?
How dare you? How dare you?
That's how I feel about it.
How dare you?
Because guys are changing their whole life, right? I went from having a new outlook on life by coming to the Philippines, and then coming to the Philippines and moving around. I didn't travel like that. I didn't travel that much. Let me see what Michael Miller said. What's going on, Michael Miller? How you doing, brother? He said the Chinese men have to be passport bros because they outnumbered their women. They might as well go to Russia and get that 11 million single woman in their country. Yeah. But the Chinese men are also coming to the Philippines. They're going to Thailand. So those guys out there, they're not dumb. They go, okay, you know what? No woman here. They go to the Philippines. They come live here. So many Chinese men I've seen living here. And the Chinese men I've seen in the Philippines were the ones I came across that was around me while I was living were Pookie and Ray Rays. Those guys would have woman of the night all through the building. All through the building. Every one time I went downstairs, it was like 5 women looking at me, and I'm sitting there like, who are these women? I'm not gonna lie. Some of them was like, oh. And then it was more women upstairs in their apartment. Those guys were getting drunk. They got so drunk one day. One guy got in a fight with the other guy. They were getting drunk. They had women all in the apartment, women downstairs. The bottle fell off from the second floor to the first floor. They got kicked out, of course. But it was wild. So, controversial opinion, but no, Eminem is the greatest rap lyricist of all time. There, I said it, mic drop. Eminem is up there. I don't think the greatest all time, but definitely top 3. I give Eminem his just due. I can't bash Eminem. Guys say, "Oh no, he's not there." Eminem is one of the best of ever. I respect his lyrical genius. I respect his lyrical genius, but I've always loved struggle music more. Struggle music more. Guys talk about their problems when they were younger and what they grew up doing. Because I come from that. I come from Queens, and I come from the drug era, and I've seen nothing but struggle out there. You know, and so I relate to that more. So I don't what do you call it? I love Eminem. I love what he rhymed like crazy, but I still favor a guy more from the struggles. I came up from struggle music that moved me more because I was a teenager with it. Don't get me wrong, I got moved way more from dancing. I love dancing. I grew up. I was a dancer my life, and I'll be in a party start. I'm the first guy on the dance floor. That was just me. But it's not a controversial opinion though. It's known. I think a lot of people know that. All colors of people know that too about Eminem. But for the same reason of who they have a connection to, they're gonna feel different. Eminem may not be well lyricist. Yeah, you got to give him that. But rapper, no. One of the best lyricists. Yeah, I think about um somebody like Big L, right? Who didn't get a chance. I felt Big L was better than Eminem, but Eminem would say that himself. Eminem would say that himself. Nobody knows who Big L is, yeah, that guy was something special. DMX is better. DMX was more struggle rap, so yeah, I did like DMX better than Eminem. Them Russian women, some of them brick houses, but I could never go over them hairy underarms and them hairy legs. Tell me I'm lying. No, you're not lying. It depends though. But I don't know. Maybe if one is hairy, they could be shaving. I don't know. Yeah, Black Thought is cool. Yeah, I think they're doing away with that now. The one child policy. I think they're doing away with some of those laws because of how bad it's gotten. Because what happened was with a one child, they would usually favor men. So I'm sure it was like Sparta. Remember what they would do? They would throw the in Sparta. They would throw the kids that were deformed off like the mountain. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like that in China. Oh, this is a girl. No, I want a boy. This is Sparta. It's not funny, but yeah, Rakim, yep. Rakim is the man. But yeah, no, it's wild though. In China, what happened? I did that. So Eminem is an interesting rapper. Does he make music still? Not really. He's making songs now because they signed a new Filipino rapper. Guys, they signed this Filipino rapper. I forgot his name, but he made that song. What's the name? Ah, so Filipino. He did the beat. I think Eminem made the beat, and Eminem made the beat, and he made a tribute to the Philippines. Okay, how that song goes, okay? Huh? Esmil, yeah. That guy can sing. He can make beats. He can rap. He does everything. Like, and I see why Dr. Dre and Eminem signed him because he's Filipino. The dude, he can rap in English. He raps in Tagalog. He's the real deal. What's his name, Kay? You know his name? It's Easy Mill. Easy Mill. Guys, check him out. Esmil. It's Esmil. Easy Mil. But Ismail. He's the new big deal. And he actually was on a song that Eminem was going at. What's the guy's name? What's the legend's name? He went against Melly Mel, MC Melly Mel, and he destroyed him. MC Melly Mel tried to make this record back to Eminem. It was off. I will react to it here, but I want to get I want this to stay up. But Eminem is still rapping. He's rapping on Easy Mill's music right now, and he's doing that to help Easy Mill out. And that song was so viral that it helped Easy Mill a lot. So Eminem, he's still rapping. Eminem's still rapping. But Easy Mill, I listened to his songs and it's like, wow. Yeah, I was a b-boy. Yep, I would break dance and everything. Fuchsias, I was definitely a b-boy. I was a b-boy that got caught up. I got caught up in the times, right? Coming from New York, because I'm from hip hop. Like I seen hip hop when it was coming up, so I was all like into it, and I was into it as a kid too. I remember being in school, beatboxing, right? Because I would see Bismarck, those guys, Bismarck, Dougie Fresh, beatboxing. So I knew how to beatbox. I knew I was rapping. I started rapping in elementary school. I would do the beats on the desks. I was b-boy to the core. I break danced. I did it all. Yeah, Rakim is he's close to the GOAT. His lyrics is there. He's definitely in top 5, Rakim, when it comes to lyricism. Yeah, DMX is a legend. They did DMX and Tupac. Most people chose DMX. And I choose DMX too over Tupac. People were saying DMX over Tupac. The reason why I choose DMX over Tupac, because the stuff DMX raps about, DMX did it. Tupac didn't. Tupac lived the life after he got famous. Tupac was a gangster. He became a gangster after he got famous, which is backwards. I didn't like that. Yeah, see, I felt the same thing, Limited. He said one-child policy is no longer in effect in mainland China. I figured that. It was a disaster. It destroyed the country. It destroyed the country. And you know what's making it more bad for men in China, mad dollars, is the men, as it was explained, I explained to you earlier, it's hard to go to US, they're getting to US, and they're coming back and taking a woman that's available. So they're making it harder on men in China. So men in China have to leave out. What happened? Yeah, coming soon, guys. Stay tuned for that. China got leftover women. Yeah, man. You know what's wild? Those women, not that bad, man. Like, that's wild. Guys, there's a slew of leftover women that's just waiting for a passport to come get them. I'm telling you. They would go willingly. And you see some of these women be like, hold up, they left you? Yeah. So that may not be a bad place. Yeah, all of his MCs are the greatest of all time, Hero. I believe that. I listen to all of them. Really, I listen to all of them. Yeah, the damage has been done. It's too late. Breaking movies. Yeah, I remember seeing that movie the first time. So Fuchsias was a b-boy. I was into it, Fuchsias. And then also I knew how to somersault. So I was the kid I'd be dancing. I remember being dance competitions. I started doing backflips and summies into a split. Oh, I was on it, y'all. I was on it. But back then, we didn't have a camcorder. So, and if I did have it, I lost all my stuff. I lost all the tapes. But yeah, I was that guy. Breaking into the full. But I didn't know how to like breakdance that good. I did the pop locking, but I didn't do the all the extra moves. We spin on the floor to do that. Man, I love hip hop culture. Yeah, I know. Mad Dollars Gaming. That's why I respect it. I even knew it. See, because I was in hip hop for real. Like I was really in it. Like when Tupac and them, they were like 8 years older than me, 9 years older than me. So when he was 25, I'm like 15, 16 years old. So I'm hearing stuff. Like you hear stories. And he came through New York too. So people knew him. People knew what he did. He's from the East Coast. So people were like, that's not you. And Biggie said it. Biggie said, because Biggie was one of his best friends. Biggie said, man, you still stuck. You got caught up in juice. Not juice. You got caught up in juice. Juice and the other roles. He said, you never changed. You stayed Bishop. And it's real. Tupac got caught up in the act. And he turned into a gangster. It happens to some actors. They get stuck in roles. And also what happened when he was a kid with women. Because he had feminine ways because he grew up with a mother. He wasn't gay, but he was feminine. So woman didn't want him. So he adapted to the role and then became super gangster, which was too much. Sheng Ye. Yep. That's it. Sheng Ye. Man, some guys want Sheng Ye. Man, I forgot who I seen. This is guy, right? He's African dude. He's in China all the time. I may play one of his videos. And he's out there talking to Sheng Ye. And some of the Sheng Ye be all right. I'm looking at it going, man, yeah, some guys would go there. Some guys would go to China. I just need loyalty. Yep. Crazy Legs. Yeah, I remember Crazy Legs. Yep. Yeah, it's true. Some you boys chose MCing, DJing, some graph writing, some breaking and popping. I didn't really get into the graph writing, but the breaking and popping, I was into that. More the popping. And also I got into, when it comes to hip hop, I got into the beatboxing and the rapping. Yeah, Pac is Gemini. Yeah, Pac was, and he had the dual personalities in the show. Biggie was too. Biggie was a Gemini too. And it was something deep with if you guys understand, you believe in conspiracy theories, it was wild. Something with the Geminis, with the dual. It was wild. It was connected to a bunch of what do you call it? Satanic stuff, which is wild, and which is what's happening even with modern women with the way they are. They don't realize it. It's satanic actually, and they don't know. It's crazy. It's bigger than you think what's going on in the world nowadays. It's being done for a reason. And so Caleb said Jay in his 80s, he just looks real good for his age and tells us all he's younger. No, I don't tell you. No, I don't tell you I'm younger. I just he's still. I'm in my 80s. No, I have an old soul, man. What comic, yeah? Where's that? I have an old soul, and I always see when you grow up in the 80s, when you grow up in 1980s, right? You're usually able to get along with people that's older because of the way you think. So I always was cool with people that were 10, 20 years older than me, right? Because I understand how to adjust and also how to be myself. But no, I look younger than my age, though. You had to go to the store and get the tapes. That used to be a hobby of mine, too. I had a huge tape collection growing up. Let me tell you what I used to do. I know a lot of y'all did it, too. Wow, I used to love boom boxes. You remember when you record what's happening with the song on the radio with your tape, right? Especially if you had one, because not all of them could record. If you had one that could record, you record what's on the radio with your tape. So your favorite song come on. So instead of going to the store and buying it, you just record it. That's how I did it all the time. I used to make mixtapes that way. I would record those songs on the radio, and then if they were speaking, you know how sometimes they cut it into the song. I have to junk it. Okay, I can't use that. I got to do it over, and then I would catch it again on another station. Okay, got it. Finally got the song. I know I'm vibing with some of y'all right now. I know I'm not the only one. Yeah, I know I'm not the only one. Making Miller said it. Yeah, he was down in Baltimore for a time, supposedly. My cousins said I knew him. He looked familiar. Of course, I've been told a lot of famous people around me and didn't know. Yeah. Oh, which one? Oh, see. Kay said Michael Miller, age is just a number. This is me hiding Jay's age. Yeah. No, I'm only 42 years. I'm not that old. I'm 42. Yeah, Hero Pocket said Tupac was a stickler for loyalty. And if you didn't move like he thought you should, he just became his enemy. Yeah. Tupac was a control freak too. That's what happened. He turned into a gangster. He was a gangster. But it was sad the way he became a gangster, but he was. He turned into it. And then He became a gangster in the industry and then started getting shot at and started walking around with Mac 10s. Really, he would be in California at hood parties. Tupac was crazy. He got crazy when he got in the industry. He wasn't like that before. He'd be in hood parties in Compton. You go and see Tupac on the couch laying down talking to two girls, sitting on the couch, too drunk laying down like this, talking to girls. Tupac was bugged out. Sure is, Fisherman Rick. Sure is. And I definitely can't talk about that on this channel, but I'm gonna have a channel talking about all that stuff too. That'd be separate. You can't mix the two. Yeah. Had a wallet mentality. He had no problem making waves with people he felt didn't have his value system. Yeah, that's true. He turned into how can I say it? He turned into a gangster and a thug. And it's like what I said about guys in jail, right? They usually stand on principles. And it's usually guys that stand on principles are usually from the old school. So Tupac became more of a man, but in a wrong way. Because as a man, that's what men do, right? And that's changing now. That's why girls are saying men are becoming feminine and all that stuff because men don't stand on the same principles and don't have the same value system. Like I grew up around street people where I seen people get shot and killed because they snitched. I came from that culture. It's not that I was involved in it. I grew up in the area in the middle of where the Supreme team ran. They had the whole South Side. They had people hustling for them. And so I was 7 years old. I looked outside the window on New Year's. I seen a person get deleted right outside my window. Cops came. I said, Mom, should I go outside and tell him? Should I go outside and tell? I never got beat like that ever again in my life. That was the worst beating I ever got, which was needed. Because back then, you tell they went in your house and do it with your whole family. I've seen it happen. I seen somebody tell up the block from me, they ran in the house and took out the whole family. Just to prove a point. So I'm not knowing no better. But my mom, after she beat me, she told me about the stories that was happening. Oh, you remember what happened the other day? Because I didn't know why it happened. Why did it happen? Oh, this happened because it is. I said, oh. So she beat me with love. She didn't want it in my head to do that, right? Yeah, I got them Filipino cougars hitting on me around the area I'm at. I went in and got a massage yesterday, and they really was gassing me up. Yeah. That's wild. It's like that here. It's like that here. It is old school, Terry. That's what I used to do. The pause tapes. Man, that was me. I'm actually the first year millennials, right? I'm an old school, new school guy. I was at the start of new school, like because when I hit 19, I was working at Radio Shack and they were selling cell phones, and then I had me a cell phone. When cell phones first hit and computer was getting real popular, having a computer, I had one. So I seen the change. I was the first year millennials, but I grew up with Gen Xers. I grew up and was pretty much raised by Gen Xers. So I'm pretty much cut from that cloth for Gen Xers, even though I was a millennial because I was the first year. And so I grew up with the technology. I grew up with the old school ways. It was actually, I grew up at the best time to be around because I seen the new school and I seen the old school. And I love that I seen that because it led me to come to the Philippines, the new school ways that I had, which is working online. I was actually ahead of the curve doing that when it first became popular. And it wasn't even popular around the whole world. It's still not now to some people, but it is more now. I had Jano, the guy who beat up LL Cool J and took his radio on Jamaica Ave. Yeah, that was in those days. Those guys were all in the neighborhood performing. No, LL Cool J used to be chased home all the time. LL Cool J was chased home. because he was LL Cool J, really, in the neighborhood. Ladies love Cool J, and a lot of times he would get beat up for it too. Yeah, he did a bunch of crazy things, man. That was good for people to see because he raised a generation of men. A lot of those guys making music at that time, and it was my generation that got corrupted. Some Gen Xers too got corrupted because they were all a little older. But that music that was coming out and the stuff they were saying, it was happening, and it corrupted the mentality of kids. I tell Kay about it all the time. Like, that's why as soon as I got of age, I did a lot of dumb stuff when I was young. And I jumped out of it right away. I was dumb as a young kid up until my 20s. Then I said, I gotta smarten up. They said, Limited Horizon said, if you are lucky, sometimes you can find a Chinese leftover woman that has inherited all her parents' money and don't have a husband or man in her life. Yeah, probably. J-Pop was, let me see. Said J-Pop was hanging around a lot of gangsters and dope boys in Queens too. He did. There are persons who eat money bags. If you know, you know. Yeah, I know. Pac used to run through New York all the time. That's why I was so shocked when he went against Big. People knew about Pac. I would hear stories all the time. That's why when the East versus West happened, I would look at Pac like he was crazy because I knew all the stories. Like Biggie knew Pac for real. Biggie knew Pac was soft. Biggie didn't see him as gay though. Biggie knew he was soft. So when Biggie said, "Well, that's not you," and so Wade said, "I wish I was in the '80s, being a middle to high school kid, learning about street art, learning about old school hip hop for teenagers and kids, and the rhyming words were cool masterpiece." Yeah, that was one of the best. It was a great time to be alive. It was, and I went into reminiscent mode when I seen the tribute to Biz Markie. And I seen what he did. Oh man, I got so inspired by what he did, man. Biz Markie was the guy, and then he kind of led the hip hop movement. Really, he kind of led it at that time, and put so many people on. He put Big Daddy Kane on, and because he was in Big Daddy Kane, seen him in the school in Brooklyn. I didn't know the stories, and I seen he put other guys on too. Like Biz Markie was that guy, and he put a lot of guys on. He got a lot of guys in the game, and they were all paying tribute to him. They all was at his funeral. Yeah, it was wild. And Mandela said it perfectly. You can't be a thug with feminine mentality. You can't. You can't. So what would happen with him, with Pac, right? He would be in the industry, and he still had his feminine ways, right? What's the name told it best? You can see it on what's the guy's name? The guy that does the karate. I forgot his name. But anyway, he said because he speaks so proper, Pac would be himself around him, and so Pac was into the theater stuff, right? Because he was in Baltimore School of Arts. So he was into it. And he was into theater plays and all this kind of crazy stuff and the Shakespeare and theater plays. And he loved it. And so he would talk about him with that. And then somebody, a black gangster would be in the room or somebody he felt was a gangster. And then he would switch up. And he would switch up. And then he would act he acted a different way around somebody like Jim Carrey, right? Jim Carrey is one of his best friends. He would act different around Jim Carrey than he would around Snoop Dogg. Crazy. He wasn't living his truth. I don't think he was gay, but he wasn't living his truth. Yeah. Yeah, I know. But I think that made him a great artist, though. I think him being so multifaceted and so many things, he should have let it be known. He should have spoke about that, right? That's real gangster. Like I'm not scared to say I did cheerleading in high school. A lot of guys would say that. I didn't do cheerleading the way you think. I knew how to backflip. So I was backflipping in the the gym, and then the cheerleading coach see me and said, "Hey, could you be the guy that lifts the woman and like being at cheerleading competition, you would help us win?" I joined. We came in 7th place that year. After that, they only came in 1st and 2nd place. I was the kind of start of that high school being a good cheerleading squad. I'm not ashamed to say it. Because when I was doing it, I was still involved in so much nonsense. But I'm not ashamed to say that. What happened with Pac, he didn't live in his truth, right? That doesn't make you a certain way because you like those things. But he felt because women looked at him a certain way. I still talk like I do now while doing it. Because of my pops. I was always hyper masculine naturally. Right? I was always living in my truth. But him, he got caught up, man. He got caught up. It's sad, but he got caught up. What's going on, Mike? You love to travel. How you doing? And so Hero said, "Oh yeah, I used to get chased and shot at. Yep, all the time, especially in Baltimore where I'm from." Michael Jai White, that's him. Yep. You can look up Michael Jai White online. He talks about what happened with Tupac. And if you look at Michael Jai White, the reason why Tupac felt comfortable around him, he speaks very, very, how can I say it, proper, right? He doesn't speak like he's from the hood. So Tupac felt comfortable. And that's wild. Thanks a lot for the support, Bandana Travels. Thanks a lot for the support, brother. Yeah, guys, and thank you guys for watching. I'm about to wrap it up. It's been 2 hours. Yes, guys, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna start making subscribe only live streams so you guys can make sure you subscribe. I think that'll be the better way to. But if you're not, be sure to subscribe. And I got a lot more coming, guys. Be sure to support. Thanks. Who knows? I may go live tomorrow. But see you next live stream. Peace out.